About giving you host back.
Okay, I saw that. Thank you.
Now you can play.
All right.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, mother. You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna, Mother Nitya Kishore. You're welcome. And
Sorry. Hare Krishna, can I start?
Sorry, there was a disconnection. Mother Nitya. Yeah, you can unmute, and then if you're ready, I'll put the verse on the screen, and then you can start. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you very nicely. Can my audio is okay? My audio is okay?
Very
Okay.
clear, yes.
Okay, good.
Thank
Okay,
you.
let's start.
All right, so
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, everyone. Good evening from Mayapurdam. Here in Mayapurdam is 10:30 p.m. I want to thank you so much for coming, and I want to thank you, the organizers, that they are giving me this opportunity to speak about Srimad Bhagavatam, on Srimad Bhagavatam. So today we are reading Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, 10th chapter, verses 9 and 10, not only 10, 9 and 10. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayana Namaskritya. Naranchaiva Narottamam. Devim Saraswatim Vyasam. Tato Chayam Udirayat. Okay, the verse is Subhadra Draupadi Kunti Virata Tanaya Tatha Gandhari Dhritarashtracha Yuyutsur Gautamo Yama Vrikodarascha Daumyascha Striyomatsya Sutadaya Nasehire Vimuhyanto Viraham Shrangadam Vata. Word by word, Subhadra, the sister of Krishna, Draupadi, the wife of the Pandavas, Kunti, the mother of the Pandavas, Virata Tanaya, the daughter of Virata, Uttara, Tata, also Gandhari, the mother of Duryodhana, Dhritarashtra, the father of Duryodhana, Cha, and Yuyutsu, the son of Dhritarashtra by his Vaishya wife, Gautama, Kripacharya, Yamal, the twin brothers Nakula and Sahadev, Trikodara, Bhima, Cha, and Daumya, Cha, and Striya, also other ladies of the palace. Matsyasuta, Adaya, the daughter of a fisherman, Satyavati, Bhishma's stepmother. Na could not, Sehire, tolerate, Vimuhyanta, almost fating, Viraham, separation, Shranga Damvana, of Sri Krishna, who bears a conch in his hand. Translation. At the time Subhadra, Draupadi, Kunti, Uttara, Gandhari, Dhritarashtra, Yuyutsu, Kripacharya, Nakula, Sahadeva, Bhimasen, Daumya, and Satyavati all nearly fainted because it was impossible for them to bear separation from Lord Krishna. Purport given by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Lord Shri Krishna is so attractive for the living beings, especially for the devotees, that it's impossible for them to tolerate separation. The conditioned soul, under the spell of illusory energy, forgets the Lord, otherwise he cannot. The feeling of such separation cannot be described, but it can simply be imagined by devotees only. After his separation from Vrindavan and the innocent rural cowherd boys, girls, ladies, and others, they all felt shock throughout their lives, and the separation of Radharani, the most beloved cowherd girl, is beyond expression. Once they met at Kurukshetra during a solar eclipse, and the feeling which was expressed by them is heartrending. There is, of course, a difference in the qualities of the transcendental devotees of the Lord, but none of them who have ever contacted the Lord by direct communion or otherwise can leave him for a moment. That's the attitude of the pure devotee. Om Agyanantimirandasya Ganam Janam Shalakaya Chakshurmuritan Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Vandeham Shri Gurum Shri Jyota Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Ragunatam Vitantam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vichakam Vitam Cha Panchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyeva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna. So here Srila Prabhupada is talking about separation. And I believe that today we must discuss about separation from Krishna. How is that feeling? Prabhupada here, you know, this is not 10th canto. In 10th canto, there is a lot of separation, but this is first canto, and the Prabhupada is mentioning Radharani. He's mentioning other devotees, and he's mentioning intimate feelings of the most closest devotees to Krishna, and when they are in separation, how they feel, how they process the fact that they are now far from Krishna. They're bidding farewell here in this verse. Krishna is leaving Kurukshetra to Dwaraka, and all the ladies, the elders, everybody, they are thinking, wow, Krishna is leaving. So it's a moment in time in Krishna Lila. It's very nice. It's all this stuff that we're going through in Krishna consciousness. All our endeavor is trying to bring Krishna's Lila qualities, names, pastimes to the level of the mind. That these things have to conquer the mind. The mind is very important. All the emotions, they are in the mind. But in the material world, our emotions are connected to material stuff. My brother, my sister, my mother, my father, my lover, my husband, my wife, my children. I feel separation from them. I love them. I cry from them. I cry, think about them. You know, it's not wrong, especially if they're devotees. We have to understand that too. Actually, those who love Krishna, they love everyone. But we now are not feeling the same thing about Krishna. We feel about material stuff. The house, the job, the car, the blood family. So what about Krishna? Yeah, we don't process, like Prabhupada said here, we covered by Maya, and this is the reason why we are not almost fainted, like these ladies here in Kurukshetra. They are, Krishna is leaving. You understand what I mean? These kind of feelings for Krishna has to come one day. They have to hit us in our heart. Not only in theory. Oh yeah, separation from Krishna is just a sentence, a statement, a book. Our practice is to bring us to the point that the same thing that we feel from material things, we should feel for Krishna. Because now we are in material bodies, our mind is attached to material stuff, so we feel emotions towards material stuff. So the goal is when we will feel emotion towards Krishna. You know, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, there is a pastime in Lord Chaitanya. One day he fainted. And he went to Krishna Lila. Meanwhile, he was unconscious. He was with Krishna. having Lila. He entered, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was entering the pastimes. This is Chaitanya Charitamrita. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was entering the pastimes and he was executing pastimes, but his material body, no material body, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's body was unconscious. And many times it happened, you know, with his associates around, they didn't know what to do. And when time was passing, they were afraid. Maybe he's not coming anymore. So what they used to do is to chant and try to wake up Lord Chaitanya. So Lord Chaitanya went, you know, he fainted and he went to Krishna pastime and he was having pastimes in the Jamuna. He was having pastimes and watching pastimes and having pastimes in the Jamuna river. And then the devotees woke up him in chanting and, you know, come back, we're very worried about you. And then when he came back and he was just like, oh, Allah, so why I came back? Why you cut me? I was having pastimes with Krishna, and then he felt so bad. And he gives an example. He said, I'm feeling like a person who had a very valuable jewel, and now a very valuable stone, like a turquoise, something like that, very precious. And now I lost it. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving us a material example. If you go deep, like you come to the feelings, like you have a jewel, and this is very beautiful and also very expensive. It's very valuable and it's all beautiful. And then you can't see and you don't have any more. So you don't have this amount connected, the money connected to the jewel. And you cannot see it anymore. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave you this example. I was thinking, you know, he's comparing these feelings with material feelings that we have, because we can't understand spiritual feelings, but we can't connect with material feelings. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was telling, I feel this kind of separation. The same feeling that a person who had a valuable jewel lost it. Because this is what the relations that we have in material world with material stuff. But then what Radharani and Krishna's associates, they feel all those things, but they feel for Krishna. And as far as we understand here from the scriptures, it is very extremely intense. Those who once fell in love in their life, they understand that. When a woman is in love with a man, when a man is in love with a woman, what happened? They forgot to eat. They forgot to sleep. They feel that they can't breathe if the person is not there, the person that they love. So this is what we feel for material stuff in the material world between man and woman. And this is also what Radharani feels, and also Krishna feels when they're not together. Actually, Krishna, he was feeling so much. He wants to come back to Vrindavan many times when he was in Dwaraka. But you know what happened? The elders, they didn't give permission to Krishna to come to Vrindavan and see his friends and Nanda and Yashoda. They didn't give permission because all the queens and Vasudeva and the elders in Dwaraka, they were afraid that Krishna, if he goes to Vrindavana, he will never come back. So how Krishna, and well, so then there is a rumor that Krishna never went back to Vrindavan. And this rumor went to Rasikananda's ears. Do you know Rasikananda? Rasikananda is the post generation of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Here in Orissa, he was preaching in Orissa. So Rasikananda was a disciple of Shyamananda Pandit. Shyamananda Pandit, Narottam Das Thakur, and Srinivasa Acharya, they are from here, from Bengal, from Orissa, and they went to Vrindavan to get trained by Jiva Goswami. Okay, so when they finished their training, they came back to preach. This was Lord Chaitanya's plan. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was planning, was thinking, when I leave the pastime, who will spread bhakti? So he made these arrangements for Shyamananda Pandit and Srinivasacharya. They were the three first book distributors. Shyamananda Pandit, Srinivasacharya, Narottam Das Thakur. So then, Shyamananda Pandit came to preach in Orissa, and one of the best disciples of Shyamananda Pandit was Rasikananda. And Rasikananda, since he was very small, a child, he was very attracted to Lord Krishna, very attracted to Shastra. And something happened. He heard Bhagavatam, and somehow he couldn't, when he understood that Krishna left Vrindavan to Mathura, and from Mathura he went to Dwarka, and then he never came back. He didn't hear that, he couldn't just understand and accept, and he didn't hear everything. So then he stopped eating, and he wanted to die, because he heard about the feelings of separation towards the inhabitants of Vrindavana to Lord Krishna. He was so sad, and he could not accept. He said, I can't accept that Krishna left Vrindavana. So he was hearing Bhagavatam. You know, Bhagavatam, we are in first canto right now, and then you go to 90th canto, and there are so many pastimes of so many personalities, you know, like demigods and incarnations, blah, blah, blah. And then you come to 10th canto. 10th canto is about Krishna. It's about Krishna's qualities and Krishna's associates and Krishna's personality. Krishna, the source of all incarnations. So he was hearing Bhagavatam. When 10th canto arrived, and then it happens, he could not process that Krishna left. What happened? Why? He was crying and he didn't want to eat. So the devotees came to him once and told Rasikananda, look, Krishna came back to Vrindavan. He said, no, you're a liar. He never came back. And this is very sad. I'm very sad. I want to die. He said, no, you don't die. Krishna came back. I'll show you. So Krishna in the Bhagavatam is described. He said, but in the Bhagavatam is not described. Shyamananda said this. And then the devotee said, yes, it's described in Bhagavatam. I will show you right now. When Krishna was in Dwaraka, and then he was fighting, so many things that happened there, blah, blah. Then he came to Mathura once to kill Dantavakra. That time, when he came to kill Dantavakra, he said, I'm here, it's so close, I'm going to Vrindavana. Then he went to Vrindavana. In the Bhagavatam described that Krishna went to Vrindavan, and then from Vrindavan, he took all the inhabitants of Vrindavan, everybody, the cows, the animals, people, everybody, Radharani, all the associates. He took everyone, and he went to Vrindavan. And this Krishna that came back is not Krishna, is Vasudev. So Vasudev went back to Vrindavan, to Dwaraka, and Krishna, Lord Krishna himself, he went to Goloka Vrindavan with the inhabitants of Vrindavan. So that's the Lila. That's the Lila. And this is the Lila, how it's described in Srimad Bhagavatam. Because of course, we shouldn't repeat from other books that we are not sure. So we only know that Bhagavatam is Srimad Bhagavatam, Pramanam, Amalam, Prema Pumarthamaham. Srimad Bhagavatam is the supreme, pure, and all the Pramanam, all the conclusions, the Siddhanta, the best Siddhanta in Srimad Bhagavatam. So if you really want to know the truth about all these pastimes, you should hear only from the Bhagavatam. Okay, 10th canto is big, very big. So many pastimes are there, and it's very amazing. It's very interesting. You don't plan to feel separation from Krishna or attraction from Krishna when you hear Bhagavatam. Satyananda Swami said Bhagavatam is not a book of information. It's not an information book. Is a book for self-realization, not for information. Satyananda Swami said that. So, but in Bhagavatam, you really, when the Dwaraka pastimes finished, that Krishna, he faked his own death for the materialists people, and then he went back to Vaikuntha. When it finished, you really feel that this world is empty. It's magic. It's magic. If you want to feel separation, you also can feel separation from Krishna. If you read Bhagavatam till 10th canto, till the end of the pastime that Krishna Lila, and then you understand that because it's going on, so many things happening with the devotees between Krishna. It's a very deep meditation, but then it finished. It finished. And then it starts something else. Of course, in 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, but it's different. Krishna is talking to Uddhava. It is giving instructions to Uddhava. It's different. But in the 10th canto, it's Lila. And then when the Lila finishes, you really feel empty. Really feel empty. Because when you are reading, it seems that you are there in Dwaraka with all Krishna's associates and with Krishna, because Bhagavata is very, very powerful, very, very pure, and very, very special. But then it finished, and then they announced that Kali Yuga will start, and then you come back to Kali Yuga. You understand your feelings. Your feelings are Krishna left, and I am here in Kali Yuga, and he's not here. That's the feeling. You feel a gap in your heart. It's very, very interesting. Very interesting. Those who are very fortunate, they can hear Bhagavatam from the beginning to the end. It's amazing. It's amazing. So, but then the 12th canto is telling many times that Krishna is here. Kali Kale Namarupa Krishna Avatar. Kali Kale Namarupa Krishna Avatar. In Kali Yuga, the Krishna's incarnation is his name. He is, in Kali Yuga, Krishna is still present in his names. That's the lesson of Srimad Bhagavatam, 12th canto. There are many verses, not only one verse, that's telling that Krishna is here. What's the verse that is saying to Maharaj Parikshit? Kaler dosha nide. This is very famous, but there are others. Kaler dosha nide rajan asti hi ko mahangona kirtanyade patrishnasya mukta sangha parampraje. This verse is directly mentioned in Kali Yuga. Kaler dosha nide rajan. O king, Kaler dosha. Kali is nide, is ocean of weakness. Dosha. Kaler dosha nide rajan asti hi ko mahangona. But a big quality is there. Hi ko mahangona kirtanat eva krishnasya. It doesn't say Ganesh Kirtan, Lakshmi Kirtan, blah, blah, blah Kirtan. It say Kirtanad Eva Krishnasya. But certainly Eva, by doing Kirtanad Eva Krishnasya, with Krishna's names, Mukta Sangha Paramvraje. Two things happen. Mukta Sangha, you free from the Sangha of material contamination. Mukta Sangha Param Vrajer. And on top of that, you go into the spiritual world. Mukta Sangha Param Vrajer. So Srimad Bhagavatam is the best friend. Who said that? Sanatana Goswami. He said, Srimad Bhagavatam is my best friend. This is what he said. It's really, Srimad Bhagavatam really becomes your friend. So then we were talking about separation and where separation is described in Srimad Bhagavatam. So there is another very important verse that you love this verse. So when Krishna left Vrindavan, it was a big drama, okay? Mother Yashoda, Radharani, Nanda Maharaj, all the friends, everybody. Nobody knew what will happen in the future. Krishna said, I'm coming back. Okay, I'm coming back, but nothing happened. So, but then Shukadeva Goswami, he said something. He said, you know, the goldsmith, those who make jewelry, they put the gold in the fire to check its purity. This is what they do to check its purity. So he said that Krishna put the love of the inhabitants of Vrindavan in the fire of separation to check its purity. This is a verse from Bhagavatam. This is not any, this is a poetry, yes, it's a poetry, but it's from Bhagavatam. Krishna placed the love of the inhabitants of Vrindavan in the fire of separation to check, verify its purity, to prove to everybody how pure, how special, how amazing it is. Actually, the Vrindavana Lila in Srimad Bhagavatam is small. The Dwaraka Lila is very big. Srimad Bhagavatam, the 10th canto, is very big, but the small part is Vrindavana Lila. But then there is Gopala Champu and many other books that describe in details all these loving interactions between Krishna, Yashoda, all the rasas, Vatsalya, Sakya, Madhurya, is described in other books. Okay, there are more details in other books. There is a book also called Lagu Bhagavatamrita. This is a book of Rupa Goswami explaining superficial controversies that you may find in Bhagavatam. It's not well explained, so he made the Lagu Bhagavatamrita to explain that, to understand in a very, because Bhagavatam was written 5,000 years ago, okay? And then Rupa Goswami was here 500 years ago. And he was, he got the responsibility by Lord Chaitanya to present devotional service according to Shastra, okay? So he went very deep in all the Shastra. Nana Shastra Vichara Naika Nipuno Shadharma Sanstapako. Lokana Hitakarino Tribhuvane Manyo Sharanya Karo Vanderupa. So Nana Shastra Vichara Naika Nipuno. So many Shastras. Nana Shastra Vichara Naika Sadharma Sanstapako. Sanstapaka. Sanstapakacharya. Sanstapakacharya Prabhupada. Sanstapakacharya means the founder Acharya. So Rupa and Sanatana, from the various Shastras, Nana Shastras, they put the conclusion of Srimad, of devotional service. So this is what they say about Rupa and Sanatana Goswami. So there are other books that describe the loving exchanging, the separation between Krishna and Radharani and the inhabitants of Vrindavan, what they think of the feelings. Not everything is on the Srimad Bhagavatam, because most of it, this is Dwaraka Lila. Okay, so you are welcome to read Gopala Champu, a very nice book, Lagu Bhagavatamrita, and other small books also. They tell many pastimes. Narottam Das Thakur's life, and yeah, also there is another book very famous. I forgot the name now. I will remember later. There's another mention here in the purport. Prabhupada is mentioning when the inhabitants of Vrindavan met Krishna in Kurukshetra. They met again in Kurukshetra. You remember? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is reviving these pastimes this pastime about the meeting in Kurukshetra between Krishna and Radharani by his reciting in Ratha Yatra. Because Krishna is in the mood of a king. He's not the same. Radharani is telling this. I am the same Radharani, but you are not the same Krishna. You became a king. You know what? In Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto is describing how Krishna conquered so many kingdoms. And by conquering these kingdoms and by going to Swayamvaras, you know, Krishna was going to Swayamvaras, like very powerful kings. They have daughters, and Krishna was going to these Swayamvaras and fight and get these girls as his wife. And with those girls, he was taking so many riches, wealth. And he did a lot of this, a lot. So the Bhagavata is describing all those things. So Krishna is not like anymore how he was in Vrindavan, you know, in the Jamuna, you know, doing pastimes, very simple life. Worry about the cows. Worry about the cows. But this is the real Krishna. How is described in Gopala Champu? How is the spiritual world? You know, I'll tell you a pastime of Krishna and the cows in the spiritual world. So then we talk about Kurukshetra, the meeting in Kurukshetra. So in Gopala Champu, there are more details about the spiritual world. They say that Goloka Vrindavan is the shape of a lotus flower. It's very, very amazing description. So there is a pastime where they do a festival in Krishna's constellation birthday. Who can understand that? I didn't understand that. I read, I didn't understand that. So this is a big festival when all elders and Krishna's relatives and groups, everybody come together in Nanda Maharaj's house. This is a spiritual world, okay? And Krishna there, they are enjoying and eating and talking and laughing, and everybody's so happy. And then Krishna, Nanda Maharaj tells Krishna, don't worry about the cows. Today is your day. Please give attention to your relatives and stay here. Somebody else is taking care of the cows. And Krishna says, yes, Father. Okay. So he stays, but after some time, somebody whispering in his ear, somebody whisper, blah, 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 and then Krishna comes to Nanda Maharaj and says, Father, I think now everybody's having prasad, and I'm going to see the cows, to the forest. And then he says, Nanda Maharaj says, yes. So, and then he goes to take blessings and leave and tell my mother Yashoda. And then he said, I have to leave. I have to leave to see the cows, mother. And I see you later. And then she said, are you sure you have to leave? He said, yes, I have to leave. And then she said, because he's leaving. And then other gopis, they come to Krishna and say, Krishna, you know, of course, the cows are also your mothers, but by the name. But your real mother is Yashoda. Why you leave Yashoda for the cows? So the gopis, the elder gopis, they ask Krishna, why you leave Mother Yashoda? Because of those cows. And then Krishna, he lowered his head, and then with a cry and smile a little bit and cry at the same time, he says, Mother, the cows are not very, very intelligent. They're animals. And if they don't see us, they don't eat the grass. You see, Krishna is there, but he is thinking about the cows. If the cows don't see Krishna Balaram, if they don't see, they don't eat the grass. Krishna is worrying about them, if they eat the grass or not. So we can understand how much love is there between Krishna and the cows. But in Dwaraka, Krishna is not doing the same job. Krishna is not doing the same activity in Dwaraka. He's a king. You understand? He's fighting. He is doing politics. He is, you know, so he's getting married with everybody, and, you know, doing things. It's not the same. Sandalani says, I am the same Radha, but you are not the same Krishna. So this is the main thing of the meeting between Krishna and Radharani in Kurukshetra. So Prabhupada, he's mentioning that all the inhabitants of Vrindavana, they feel so much separation from Krishna. And then he says, what to speak about Radharani? Because he's saying in many books, and also Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showed that his body was slack and was deformed, and was completely unconscious just because Krishna is not here. So I can't breathe, I can't work, I can't understand anything around me because Krishna is not here. This is the feeling. All you heard about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his behavior, his crazy behavior is about separation. He's unconscious, he's not talking properly, he's not functioning properly. So many years in Gambira, there, like doing like this, so many feelings, so much feelings. So it should not be artificial. We should not force ourselves to feel separation. Actually, what happens is that by practicing the process, we came to understand that we are not this body, that we have an eternal identity. This identity is intimately connected to Krishna. So when we experience that, we understand that, and that the feelings of separation, they will happen in our minds, in our hearts, naturally. It doesn't come by force. You want to feel that? You have to chant. You want to feel that? You have to serve the spiritual master. You want to feel that? You have to know who is Krishna. And how can we know who is Krishna? By hearing about Krishna. How can you hear about Krishna? Through Bhagavatam, through Chaitanya Charitamrita, through Bhagavad Gita. Krishna is a person. So the time passed, and we will understand, and that is Krishna, and Krishna is there, and I am here. So when will I meet the Lord? That's the question that we make to ourselves after some time and after practicing. We should not force upon ourselves none of these feelings that we hear from Shastra. There is no need for that. We have that inside our hearts. It's just covered. So it has to be uncovered. Cheto darpanam marjanam bhava mahavadagini nirvapanam shreya kairava chandrika vitaranam vidya vadu jivanam ananda bodhi vardanam pratipadam punamita swadanam sarvatma isnapanam param vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtan. Cheto darpanam marjanam, clearness, cheto, heart, darpanam, mirror. The mirror of the heart, where you can see what you can see in the mirror, your own image, isn't it? You look at the mirror, you see yourselves, isn't it? But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is talking about the mirror as your heart. So when you see yourself, yourself now, this is not, because the heart is polluted, you can't see yourself. So Chito Darpana Marjana, when this is clean, the mirror of the heart is clean, you can see your own identity. And what happened? What happens when you see yourself. Cheto Darpana Marjanam, Bhava Mahavadagni. Bhava, material existence. Mahavadagni, big fire of material existence. Bhava Mahavadagni, Nirvapana, it's finished. It's not finishing like that. Oh, I have to get out from here. This is so bad. There is corona. I am poor. I am black. I am white. I am woman. I am man. Never gonna happen. Like the Americans say, never gonna happen. It's not like that. Cheto Darpa, not by denying, like the Mayavadis. I deny the identity. I deny the happiness. I deny Lord. I deny everything. Not by that, but something positive by chanting. Cheto Darpana Marjanam, Bhava Mahavadagni, Nirvapana. Material existence is finished. When is finished? When I understand that I'm not this material identity. The next is Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam Vidyavadu Jivanam. Kirtan, Sankirtan, the chanting of the holy name is the big Shreyas. What is Shreyas? Prayers is Shreyas. Shreyas is everything that you do that's eternal. For example, you go to university, you get a lawyer degree. I got marketing degree. Okay, this is temporary. Next life, I have to go to university again. This is prayers, something good, but only for this life. Shreyas, I read Bhagavatam, I chant the holy name, I accept the spiritual master, I go to the purificatory ceremonies, I advance spiritually. This is Shreyas, means not only for this life, but for all the lives ahead. It means prayer, Shreyas. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, chanting is the best you can get of Shreyas. Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam. Kairava Chandrika means the lotus when the moon rays touch the lotus, it opens. So when the holy name touch the Shreyas activities, it expands. Vitaranam. Vitaranam means expand. So here in Mayapur, we say Granta Vitaranam. Granta means books, and Vitaranam means distribution. Granta Vitaranam means book distribution. In Bengali, Hindi means book distribution. So let's go back to Kurukshetra. Kurukshetra that Prabhupada is mentioning here, and when the inhabitants of Vrindavan. So everything what Prabhupada is mentioning here is about feelings. It's not about intellectually, yes, I shouldn't do this, I shouldn't think like that, I should not do that, I shouldn't. It's not like that. It's not this platform. I give an example, sincerely speaking, Gadadhar Pandit. Gadadhar Pandit was very attached to Lord Chaitanya. They were going to school together here in Navadvipa, okay? And then Gadadhar Pandit took sannyas and he was living in Puri. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told him, yeah, you take care of Tota Gopinath in Puri Dham. That's a very beautiful deity. And Krishna is sitting down. Amazing deity, Tota Gopinath. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told him, take care of this deity. And he said, yes, Mahaprabhu, whatever you tell me. But then Mahaprabhu has to leave to South India. And then, nothing was convincing Gadadhara Pandita to stay and honor his vow to take care of the deity. He was completely out of his mind. It's crazy. He fainted. He fought. He was crying. Let me tell you something. Look at the deep deep feelings of Gadadhara Pandit. Do you think that he's thinking about, oh, this girl is so beautiful, she's blonde, she's black, she's Brazilian, she's African, she's American, I like this. Or he's thinking, if I had a car or a good house, you know, like, of course, that's normal. We have to have those things. Just an example. It's just an example that he can't think about anything else. His mind is covered, absorbed in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He can't think about anything. He's just like, where's Lord Chaitanya? Why he's leaving? I can't stay without him. This is just the thing that he's thinking. So, renunciation of material stuff, or even if you are detached from material stuff, it's not coming by force or artificially, but by practicing the process. Naturally, you feel attached to Krishna. And as soon as you feel attached to Krishna, all this so-called illusion that I stay here forever, everything is mine, and I'm happy here, I'm beautiful, I am this and that, everything will disappear slowly by practicing, not by forced, not by being artificial, not by that, by practicing the process. And it should not be in the mind platform. I have to do this and be in anxiety. No, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that this process we practice in a happy mood. Why we should be depressed or upset or in anxiety? I have to do this, I have to do that. No, we practice the process. You're initiated, wake up in the morning, chant your japa. Read a little, at least, every day. Offered everything you eat. This is the process of bhakti. Attend the festivals, going to the temple, pay obeisance to the deity, do kirtan, associate with the devotees, washing pots happily. No relax, no so much concern. You go on and on and on and on and on and on. And one day you come to India, you go to parikramas, you go to Vrindavan, Radhe Radhe, you come to Mayapur, Gauranga, you see the saints, you go to the places, and after some time, you even can't figure out how it happens, but your life is changing. Your life changes, your mentality changes. Naturally, you feel everything naturally. It's like medicine. We are not doctors, most of us. Maybe one doctor here, I don't know. But most of us, we are not doctors. We have some headache. We get some medicine. We don't know what the medicine did inside our bodies. We don't know. We only know that the headache finished. This is the only thing we know, isn't it? So it's the same. It's the same. We just practice the process, and then we feel attraction to Krishna. We remember Krishna. So I like so much this subject, separation subject. Also, the separation increases the attachment. This is what Krishna wants from the gopis. He wanted to increase their affection, so he left. It's very, very interesting. You want to, hello girls, you want to increase affection, you leave. This is the science. Giving here in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Krishna wants to make the gopis more attached to him. So he left. He left the rasa dance. He left Vrindavan to increase their attachment. It goes deeper when it's separation. So separation is not bad. Separation is good. It's for the best. It's for the best benefit. It's for the supreme shreyas. That's separation. The thing I like the most is Shukadeva Goswami's Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that Shukadeva Goswami is the best poet. That Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said about Shukadeva Goswami in another pastime. But he said that Krishna put the love of the inhabitants of Vrindavan in the fire of separation, just to see its purity. Wow, that's deep. That's deep. So I think it's time enough. Almost 1 hour speaking. If you have any question, always here, maybe some question, or Prabhu, if you want to say something, the organizers.
Thank you so much, Kishore Mataji. That was a very, very beautiful class. Lots of pastimes, very interesting. So at this point, whoever has a question can raise up their hands by using the emoji, and we'll be asked to unmute to ask their question. But I have a few handful of questions for you, Kishore. My first question is about you were saying because our mind is attached to so much and so many material things, we do not really feel the separation of Krishna as these gopis and exalted ladies had for Krishna. I mean, I'm here, I'm not dying for Krishna. So many of us on this platform are here. Nobody is saying, oh, where is Krishna? I haven't seen Krishna. I cannot live without Krishna. We don't have this feeling. But I once went to the airport. Somebody had visited, I was leaving, so I accompanied him to the airport. And I saw a family. One of them was traveling outside. And they were having fun. So when it was time for the person traveling to leave, and he left, I saw one particular guy. He stood so still. It was like he was just a lump of wood, and he was crying for the separation of the person. And I wish I could have the same feeling as the gopis have, but I don't have it. And I'm thinking because I cannot see Krishna, I cannot touch Krishna. So my question is, how do we develop this kind of love for Krishna to a point that we have the same feelings as these great devotees are having? Hare Krishna.
Thank you for your question. Good question. I spoke this also in the lecture, but there is a particular point that I want to speak. That's, you can do a better connection. Like you can't feel separation from somebody that you don't know, a stranger. We feel separation from people that we know, isn't it? We know this person qualities, the person, qualities, and you have associated with this person, then you feel separation. Otherwise, you don't feel separation. You understand? So a point is, if you don't know who is Krishna, you can't feel separation from Krishna. So I can't say that, the read of Bhagavatam is compulsory, because in the Bhagavatam is described who is Krishna, how Krishna interacts. Like, let's talk about when Krishna left Vrindavan to Mathura. Akrura was bringing Krishna, isn't it? So then in the middle, he stopped to chant Gayatri in the Jamuna, Akrura. So he was bringing Krishna and Balarama in the chariot, and then he stopped the chariot, and then he went inside the river to chant Gayatri. So what's the pastime? Pastime is Akrura dived in the Jamuna, and inside the Jamuna, he saw Vishnu. He saw Vishnu, he saw Krishna, and then he came out and he looked at the chariot, and Krishna Balarama was there, and he was astonished, he was afraid, he was just like, what's happening? He saw Vishnu, he saw Krishna inside the Yamuna and outside. And then he was, quiet and chant his Gayatri, a little afraid, like astonished. And he came back to the chariot. And then Krishna asked Akrura, have you seen something wonderful in the sky, in the earth, or in the water? That's Krishna. Krishna is asking Akrura, and then he laughed in Balaram. Like, look at Akrura, how he is. He can't handle. And then he laughs, and then Akrura was just like, and then they left. You understand? Another thing, when Akrura, he was working for Kansa, so he came to take Krishna to bring to Mathura to the fight, and then everybody knew that Kansa was trying to kill Krishna for 10 years. Okay, everybody knew. So but then he's so hypocrite. He's so stupid, Kansa. He sent Akrura and told, oh, you go there and you tell Krishna, you are my dear nephew, please come to Mathura. I want you to participate in the fight because I really want to see you because we love you. We are all family. Such a hypocrite. So Akrura gave the message, and then Krishna Balaram, they were hearing everything. And then when Akrura finished, and everybody's laughing, Krishna Balaram is laughing about the message. So, like, Krishna is like that. He has a good humor, sense of humor. He punished Kaliya. Kaliya came to say, Kaliya, after Kaliya was punished by Krishna, he came and then he was telling Krishna, I'm so sorry. I have a bad nature, and you know very well that's very difficult to get rid of a bad nature. I am so sorry. And then Krishna told him, leave Vrindavan and never come back. And he didn't say anything, I forgive you or something like that. He just said, leave. So, like that. And there are so many pastimes. As much as you hear about Krishna, as much, that's very important, as much attraction you feel for Krishna, okay? But what I want to say is that you can't force feelings upon your heart, upon your mind, about something that you don't know. So if we are really serious to develop attraction for Krishna, we have to know who is he. And how? Oh, yeah, by hearing Bhagavatam and by reading Bhagavatam. By reading and by hearing Bhagavatam. By practicing Shravana. That's the way. It's not like, how can I, guys, sorry, there is no shortcoming. What do you want me to say? Oh, you're going, no. If you don't hear about Krishna, next life, you born again to hear about Krishna. What to do? The process is gradual. Prabhupada said that. But forced, you cannot. And artificially, nobody can do, because these are feelings. How you can, you cannot, how can I say, fake the feelings. I hope it's clear. Okay. Any more questions?
Very much clear, yes.
I hope it's clear.
Thank you very much for that beautiful answer. If anyone else has a question, they can raise up their hand and ask the question.
I have a question.
Okay, go ahead, please.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
What will happen to the person that is a devotee of Krishna consciousness and later backslide?
Okay.
That's my question.
All right. Mother Nitya, did you understand his question? His question is, what will be the position of a Krishna devotee who abandons Krishna for something else?
Can you repeat, please?
Like a devotee but I'm a devotee of Krishna today.
Okay.
And for whatever reason, tomorrow I'm no more Hare Krishna devotee.
Okay.
What will be my situation?
Okay, yeah, good question. Good question. Prabhupada explained that wherever I just spoke in the verse Chetodarpana Marjanam that Krishna consciousness activities are the supreme shreyas. Their result is forever. So if during some time you served Krishna by distributing books, by eating prasad, by chanting, by going to fire ceremony, everything is yours. There's never a loss. And for some reason, for some unfortunate situation, karma, whatever is there, you stop the process. So in the next life, you continue the process from wherever you stop the process. It's never a loss, never. And sometimes things happen because of past lives stuff, offenses, something happened. So it can happen. Actually, you should be very, how can I say, very astonished and surprised by those who stay, not by those who left. Actually, anybody who came sometime, anytime, and saw the deity and had Mahaprasada and touched one book, they have a lot of benefit. Let me tell you a story. In America, when Prabhupada was in the planet, there's so much book distribution everywhere, so much. And then one devotee came to Prabhupada and said, Prabhupada, people, they're getting the books and throw in the garbage bin. They're not taking home. Prabhupada said, they said, what do you think about that? Prabhupada said, what can be done? They throw babies in the garbage. At least they touch the book before they throw it in the garbage. By touching the book, they already became purified. It doesn't matter what happened after.
Wow.
That's Prabhupada.
Wow.
That's Prabhupada. So those information is very important. I read 20 Prabhupada's biographies. That information is very important for you to understand the power of the process. So you don't judge or you don't mind. Anybody who practices any time, even this person maybe practiced so much and left, you don't know, maybe the time of death, they can be liberated. You don't know. It doesn't mean, and actually, I don't believe that a person stopped the process because it's a weakness and misfortune. It's not crookedness. And if it's crookedness, this is a misfortune. If somebody's crooked, it's misfortune too. So actually, we should be very concerned about our practice. Others' practices are not our concern, and they are very complex because they are under karma, free will, and the material world is very complex. So you can't handle other people's processes and spiritual advancement. So you hand yours. How much good is your japa? How much attraction you feel for chanting? And are you reading every day? And you are trying to serve others. You are trying yourself. If others are not serving, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what others are doing. It doesn't matter. I live in India for 12 years. I live in Mayapur for 12 years. I am Brazilian. I went to Vrajamandala Parikrama for 5 years. When I left to do Vrajamandala Parikrama, it means walking in Vrindavana for 30 days. Nobody Western from Mayapur was going. I said, I have to go because this is very important. I don't know for how long I stay in India. So I left. And it was amazing. Everything what I'm talking to you now about Krishna Lila, I learned in Vrindavana, walking in the parikrama, chanting 70 rounds daily. You understand? So we should be more concerned about how to practice ourselves, how we are practicing. And then when we are concerned about that, we will meet, so many people that are practicing too. A big society of devotees. Okay?
Thank you very much for that answer. That's very interesting. So, if I understood you clearly, it means whatever so-called little service we perform in devotional service is never a loss.
This is the conclusion of whole Shastras. Never ever a loss. Anything you do, anything. Very powerful.
All right.
Okay?
May I ask you one question? I know it's very late over there.
No problem. No problem, yes.
I don't see any hands up. But my question is, you were talking about how one can perform devotional service to the possible highest level, where you do not think of anything other than Krishna. Now, my question is, what do we do? Like some of us working in offices, working for the government, you cannot always think of Krishna. You have to think of how to do your job. And so in this way, it appears we are not 100% thinking of the Lord. So how do we think of the Lord all the time when we're still busily engaged in our day-to-day activities? Hare Krishna.
Great question. Prabhu, what's your name?
Sahadev.
Sahadev. Oh, great. Sahadev, I give an example. You know which example I'll give you? Srila Prabhupada. Was Srila Prabhupada a sannyasi, a brahmachari? You was a sannyasi after 40 years marriage and 5 kids. He was a businessman, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
He did service. He studied Bhagavatam as a businessman. Let's talk about Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He was a judge. He was working. He got 11 kids. You understand? That's not the point. You know, ashrama is not about spiritual advancement. Ashrama is about nature. Although sannyasi ashram supposed to be more advanced, they know more shastras, they are natural teachers of the society. Okay, this is sannyasa ashram. But ashrama is not about spiritual advancement, or if I can handle brahmachari ashram be really advanced. Not about that. Not about that. First, you know who your name, Chaturvarnya Maya Shristam Guna Karma Vibhagasha, isn't it? Chaturvarnya, 4 varnas, Guna Karma Vibhagasha, according to Guna, the 3 modes of nature that you born with, and according to the karma that you execute. Like I am a mother of 3, but they are big now. And I am a manager. This is my profession. I love literature, but as a professional, I am a manager. I do my job during the day. I chant my japa, I read Bhagavatam, and then you do your job. I know many people like that. Ambarisha Prabhu, TOVP, the temple, the new temple in charge. What is Ambarisha? He is a businessman.
Yes.
He's a businessman.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Because it doesn't, you do whatever you have to do. But a sadhana is a very important thing. You have to try to do your sadhana. You do not to worry about what you are doing in your job during the day. If you are a teacher, if you are a manager, if you work in a factory, and if you are a parlor girl, if you are a model, it doesn't matter, but it matters how is your sadhana. It's possible to do your sadhana. If it's not possible to do sadhana, very good. What Prabhupada said in Bhagavad Gita, he said, help those who are serving directly because it's the same. You know what Prabhupada said about book distribution? He said, those who give money for book distribution are having the same benefit as those who are doing book distribution. Prabhupada gave the blessings. Okay, you cannot leave everything and go to book distribution. No problem. Be a lawyer, be an engineer, be a teacher, be a labor. It doesn't matter. Help the book distribution. You have the same blessings. That's Prabhupada. You know, you remember this, I forgot his name, I always forgot his name. There's a very important, Jayananda, he had $5,000. He was a taxi driver. He didn't ever left his job. Prabhupada didn't tell him to left his job. He was a taxi driver, and he said, Prabhupada, I have $5,000, my savings. Prabhupada, can you give for printing Bhagavad Gita? And he said, yes, big service. $5,000. And your name is?
Sahadev.
Sahadev Prabhu. Sorry, Sahadev. It is a big misunderstanding that we confused about, oh, I should not be successful. If I want to be an actor, no, I should not be an actor because this is not good. I should be a brahmachari. I should be a sannyasi. I should go to the temple, otherwise I'm wrong. Guys, for God's sake, listen very carefully. People are brahmacharis by nature, not by force. You go to the Catholic Church, there are brahmacharis in Catholic Church. Very happy brahmacharis. They are reading Bible, they're practicing celibacy, they're giving charity, okay? Because this is their nature. I was in Brahmacharini ashram for 10 years. No complaints. I was so happy. But some people can't handle. Why? You have to have authority. You cannot do whatever the hell you want with your life. You cannot take decision. You have to follow orders. And some people, they can't do that. So they're forced. If they don't do that, they are bad. They're less. Wrong understanding. It's a question of nature. So then you get a person who has problems with authorities, who wants to be completely independent and put them under authority, and then they get crazy. And then you say, this person is crazy. No, he's not. She's not crazy. They're just misplaced. They don't like that. Some people, they're very comfortable. Tell me what to do, I don't care. And some people are very disturbed. They don't want people to tell them what to do. I didn't care. Where should I go? Here. How much books I distribute? That much. Where should I sleep? Here on the floor. No bed? No bed. Okay. And I loved my authorities. And I was very happy. It was okay. I was so happy. Best time in my life. No complaints. My nature. But maybe your nature or somebody else's nature, not the same. So, you know what Prabhupada said in Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Lila, the spiritual master's chapter? He said, the spiritual master is very expert to engage the disciple accordingly to their nature. That's what Prabhupada said. The spiritual master is very expert to do that. So don't get confused. Don't get confused about this point. By forcing yourself, doing things, find yourself, engage your nature, and then put Krishna there. If you are made to be something else, you will be something else without any forcing. There is no force. There's no repression. Is that clear?
Very, very clear. Thank you so much.
He's not crazy, he's misplaced.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. So we thank you very much. And we really appreciate you staying this late because it's quite late.
No problem, no problem. I'm happy. No problem. No issues.
Yeah.
I even don't feel tired and nothing, you know that. You speak spiritual knowledge, you never feel tired. You keep go on and on and on.
Yes,
and on.
I know. I know. So thank you very much. We hope next time when we do give you an invitation, you will be kind enough to be with us, to bless us with your.
I'm happy. I told I told Bhakti Damodara Swami that I want to go to Africa because I never been to Africa. I had been to South Asia, I had been to Europe, Latin America, but not Africa. So I told Bhakti Damodara Swami, I want to preach in Africa. He said, let's make the arrangements.
Okay.
Which country are you?
I'm from Ghana, but I'm in the United States at the moment.
Oh, okay, you're Ghana. Okay.
Ghana,
I want to go to Ghana.
Okay, please do. Please do. Thank you so much. So,
okay.
Please, you may all unmute and then we chant big Hare Krishna for mothers coming here to speak. Okay. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Rama, Hare.
Jai. Praise Nitya Kishore Devi ki.
We appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna, thank you.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai. Gaura Premanande, Hare Hare Krishna.
Oh, Hare Krishna.